overall, while Coastal is 2-3 and 1-1 in the Sun Belt. Coach Bryant Vincent.
Our goal is, and it's coming here pretty fast, is you want to be peaking week 8. We've said that from day one, and we're going into week 6. So obviously, we've got things to clean up in all 3 phases.
Kickoff is at 6 p.m. Louisiana Radio Network.
KSYL.
As of today, the era of cheap fake videos is officially over. OpenAI, the owners of ChatGPT, unleashed tech that nobody's ready for. I'm Kim Commando for LinkedIn. Post a job for free. Find qualified candidates quickly. LinkedIn.com/Kim. Mark this date, October 10th, 2025. This is a day no one can trust any videos from any source. An app called Sora 2 for iPhones only, at least for now, can create perfect, lifelike videos of anything just from a simple prompt. How about Walt Disney, who died in 1966, shaking hands and chatting with President Trump in the Oval Office? Or this one the New York Times thought up. Police body cam footage of a dog being arrested for stealing a ribeye at Costco. Or Mr. Rogers talking to Tupac about respecting each other. The videos created by Sora are astounding. The lighting, camera motion, facial expressions, it's all shockingly realistic. Remember the date and trust no videos. Hey, get my free newsletter now at getkim.com. As a small business owner, you don't have the luxury of clocking out early. Your business is on your mind 24/7. So when you're hiring, you need a partner that grinds just as hard as you do. That hiring partner is LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn makes it easy to post your job for free, share it with your network, and get qualified candidates that you can manage all in one place. Their new feature can help you write job descriptions and then quickly get your job in front of the right people. Either post your job for free or pay to promote. Promoted jobs get 3 times more qualified applicants. At the end of the day, the most important thing to your small business is the quality of candidates. And with LinkedIn, you can feel confident that you're getting the best. Find out why more than 2.5 million small businesses use LinkedIn for hiring today. Find your next great hire on LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Kim. That's linkedin.com/Kim to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Do it today. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Kim.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome. It is Friday, and I'm sure you are glad. Absolutely gorgeous morning out there today. It's a little bit cool. Actually feels somewhat like fall, but I'm sure it won't by about noon today. But enjoy it. Get out, take a walk, do whatever you got to do out in the yard. And if you're on your way to work, well, welcome to the show for that as well. I'm Al Quartermont along with Stephen Maxwell. Glad that you guys are with us today. We've got an open line throughout the show today. 318-442-8255 is the number on the BOM Bank Talk line. Did you take the dog for a walk this morning?
I did. It was really cold this morning for me. It was pretty chilly. Wasn't expecting it, and he likes to take his time in the morning. I'm like, dude, you got to hurry up.
You didn't have a jacket on or what?
I didn't put it on. Wasn't expecting it. I didn't watch the weather last night.
There you go. You should.
I know you weren't watching the weather last night. You were watching it. If you were, it was a storm.
Thanks for starting my day.
Big dark cloud of a storm. I saw the score this morning. I was pretty bummed out for you.
Yeah. Well, I felt going in, and what Stephen is referring to is the National League Division Championship Series between the Brewers and the Cubs. I felt all along the series would either go 3 games or 5 games. So far, the Brewers have held serve at home. They'll have to do it again as they lost to the Cubs last night. Shutout. It was just not a good game. Their star pitcher, Freddie Peralta, gave up a 3-run homer in the first inning with 2 outs. Grooved one, and Cubs, yeah, well, it is what it is.
And Al hates the Cubs. Hates them.
Kind of do, yeah.
That's your least favorite team, right?
I would say either the Cubs or the Dodgers or the Mets or the Phillies.
That's why you like to see the troops in Chicago streets. You don't even like them. you're like they deserve it.
I've never minded the White Sox. The White Sox are fine. It's just the Cubs. Their fans are so annoying. Like, even watching last night, they're acting like they won the World Series. It's like, dude, you guys haven't even won this series yet.
I'm not trying to out you here, but I can say on the record, besides maybe Brad, our listener, Al hates Chicago.
Yeah, you're not outing me. That's a pretty well known fact. I just don't like that city.
I've only been once with you.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I only went to the Cubs game, and
Right.
I'm going to be completely honest. It was cool for historical sake.
Yeah, it is.
I thought it was a bit of a dump.
It is. You ever,
Wrigley
like,
feels a dump.
you go to the bathroom, you're like peeing in a trough.
Yeah.
Like, what
Maybe is that
this?
like the nostalgia of it or whatever? But
Yeah.
I'm used to the wine and cheese crowd of the Dallas Cowboys.
And the
Like,
thing
if
is,
you're a Rowdy fan there, you don't really fit in. So
with Wrigley, it was historic. It did feel that way back in like the 80s before they put the lights in, before you had night baseball. And now you got these two gigantic scoreboards in right and left field. And it just looks so tacky. It just looks stupid.
it does. It does not look good.
And there's no reason for it. I mean, the charm of Wrigley was that it's not like the other baseball fields. And yeah, the food isn't that good compared to other stadiums.
And everyone was a jerk.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
And you're paying like $100 for parking. It's hard to get in, hard to get out. It's just,
It was the worst two. Well, I don't even know about the Cubs. They were mean that day. And they were playing the Phillies. So it's
Yeah.
Philadelphia people.
yeah.
And not all Philadelphia people are bad, but 99% of them are the worst sports fans. They're good
Right.
people, I'm sure.
Right.
But when it comes to sports, they're just insufferable. And so it was like a double whammy. It was like a day game, and they were getting all ticked off at each other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it was a great experience. Milwaukee Brewer Stadium, significantly better. Not even in the same ballpark, no pun intended. And I don't care about the Brewers, but that was way better.
So now it
Milwaukee
all
was
adds
a great
up.
city.
Thanks, man. Well, now it all adds up to a game 5 tomorrow. And that'll be, I think it's 7:00, and winner take all. So we'll see. Brewers I really felt like they could have won yesterday. I mean, I'm sorry, on Wednesday, but they didn't. So I had a feeling yesterday wouldn't go well, and it didn't.
Mm.
But I
Stations and cable systems of your area. Emergency alert system equipment that can quickly warn you during emergencies is being tested. If this had been an actual emergency, such as a tornado, flood, evacuation, toxic release, or any emergency that you, the public, should be timely alerted, official messages would have followed the alert tone. This station serves as a vital part of the Louisiana State Emergency Alert System. This concludes this test of the Emergency Alert System.
Where were we?
Chicago sucks.
So it will be game 5 tomorrow in Milwaukee, and I fully expect the Brewers to win. And if they don't, it'll be an agonizing loss.
That'll suck for you.
But, life will go on
That's tomorrow?
tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
And
know.
meanwhile, I don't know. I mean, talk about a rough day for Philadelphia sports fans.
Good for them.
First of all, in the National League Division Series, the game was a pitcher's duel. And the Phillies got a lead. They brought in their closer to get basically an 8-out save, I think it was. and he ended up giving up a bases-loaded walk, something he's hardly done all year. Ties the game, sends it into extra innings, and in the bottom of the 11th, there were runners on second and third. Ohtani's up, so they walk him intentionally. And then the next batter, I think it was Mookie Betts, hits it back to the mound. The pitcher kind of panics a little bit, bobbles it, decides to throw home to try to get the out, throws the ball right past the catcher. If he goes to first, he probably gets the out. He might have thought Betts being pretty fast, he might not have gotten him. But in any case, that's a tough way to lose. But people have been showing it a lot on Twitter. When you look at the replay from above, it doesn't look like the Dodgers runner actually touched the plate. It looked like the catcher's foot was standing on it, like right at the point where the plate starts, and he just kind of stepped right before it and then stepped over it. So they didn't review that or anything. I guess if he would have tagged him, maybe they could have reviewed it, but as it is.
Was that something they complained about like hours later, or is that something they noticed immediately?
I haven't seen if the Phillies complained. I just noticed fans
Twitter.
were posting it. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. So the Phillies are done. They lost 2-1. And then the Eagles, they got smoked by the New York Giants.
and that's okay. So I saw the score this morning, and they're like, Eagles stunned and lost to flailing Giants, and I was like, anytime you're playing a divisional rival,
Yep.
it doesn't matter. And the Giants
Yeah.
are like a good bad,
Yeah.
if you ask me.
Well, the big story was the rookie running back out of Arizona State, Cam Scadaboo.
Yeah, he's something.
What a great name.
He's gonna drive us nuts for years.
He had 98 yards on 19 carries, but 3 touchdowns.
Golly. He runs like his life depends on it.
Like a scat back.
He does.
Remember that? The old scat back. He's literally a scat back.
He's a tough dude, I guess. So.
He's the Scadaboo.
The old Scadaboo. What was he? Where'd he play again?
Arizona State.
Arizona State.
Yeah, I can't remember who they played in a bowl game last year, but that's where I first kind of saw him, and I was like, ooh, this guy's low-key good.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah, good for the Eagles. I mean, they were, even though they went 4-0, there was could have been an 0-4.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
all the games have been pretty close, but they're still probably the best team in football.
Yeah, they'll right the ship. I mean, they're 4-2. It's not terrible.
I saw the Jaguars were 4-1. I had no idea.
Yeah,
What the heck?
they're actually decent this
Yeah.
year.
I'm sure they'll ruin that eventually. But
Yeah. Who do they play this week? Let me check that.
Seahawks, maybe, huh?
You're right.
Yep.
How'd you know that?
Because I was when I go to LAC in Alexandria in the changing room, that's the only time I watch NFL live. And so I was like, oh man, the Jaguars are 4-1 and they were wearing their old uniforms. Looks good. So
Yeah, I love last week when the Tampa Bay Bucks played Seattle, they were wearing their original uniforms from the 1976 season when they were expansion teams.
the Dreamsicles,
Love those.
they are good.
Now, Seattle's are still pretty cool, too. Their old throwback with the kind of the long Seahawk logo
Yep.
on the helmet.
Love it.
I always like that one.
I love the Cowboys 90s
Yeah.
uniforms.
Oh, yeah.
Big star on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Dreamsicles, even though it's a bad memory for them. I hate their new uniforms.
Yeah.
It's kind of ugly.
Like the Dolphins, they should just go back to their 1970s.
It's a whale now. Like, I don't
I
get
know.
why they did that.
I know. It looks
That drives
so
me
dumb.
nuts. It looks so dumb. It looks like a humpback whale.
It does. There's some uniforms you just shouldn't change.
Why'd they do that, though? There was nothing wrong with the happy little dolphin.
I know.
I don't get it. That drives me nuts. Drives me nuts.
That's one team that'll never change, the Packers. I mean, sometimes they'll wear like the alternative jersey.
The stupid
uniform.
blue and yellow ones.
Yeah, like,
Those are stupid.
from like the 1920s look
Yeah.
or whatever. But the iconic green and gold with the G on the helmet, can't beat that. Just like the Cowboys star. I like when they have the red, white, and blue stripe.
Me too. They do that a couple times a year.
Yeah, that would look.
Every Thanksgiving, they do
I
it.
think they did that in '76 for the bicentennial year.
Okay. I'm sure they'll do a lot next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the red, white, and blue helmets. It's fantastic.
Yeah, next year is going to be a very patriotic year, isn't it? 250th
Yeah.
birthday of America. What do they call it? The whatever tennial?
I forgot what they call it. It's a weird name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting, I'm sure. Maybe I'll get to meet Roger Staubach, Mr. America himself. That'd be my life goal.
You haven't met him yet?
No, never have. He's a real estate tycoon now.
Better hurry up. He's not getting any younger.
It's true. Me neither.
Speaking of people not getting any younger, did you see where Sister Jean passed away? Do you remember her? She was the nun who was basically the chaplain for the Loyola basketball team when they made a run. I think they made it to the Elite Eight, if I remember right, in 2008.
Mm-mm.
And she became kind of a viral sensation. Well, she died yesterday at the age of 106.
Oh, no. 106?
Yeah, she was born in 1919. Can you imagine?
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Well, good for her.
Sister
Good long
Jean.
life.
Dolores Schmidt.
My goodness. That's pretty wild.
Yep. Seen a lot of history in her life.
Yeah. 106 years.
All right.
1920.
And even so, life is but a vapor.
It's nothing but a quick little ride on this floating rock.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll take a break. We're going to come back and get into some more serious news topics here today on Talkback.
Maybe.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. A little hope for home buyers on the hunt right now. Mortgage rates have resumed their downward path, falling for the first time in 3 weeks. According to Freddie Mac, the average for a 30-year fixed loan is 6.3%. But keep in mind that a Redfin survey found that roughly 1 in 6 Americans are delaying a major purchase like a home because of the government shutdown. Checking on the market, stocks are looking at slight gains to wrap up the week. Wall Street has seen a relentless surge from April's market meltdown. S&P futures are rising 10 points. Dow futures are up 75. Yesterday, the Dow fell 243 points, with the markets taking a breather. And Levi's is feeling the pinch as tariffs are starting to bite. Executives with the iconic jeans brand says it's starting to feel the impact of the levies. Many American retailers have imported more inventory on concerns about rising tariffs. So far, Levi's already has 70% of products needed for the holiday shopping season. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
Have a ghoulishly good time Friday, October 17th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Tales Along the Bayou, Rapids Parish Library's annual storytelling spooktacular. Enjoy live music from Brian and Terry Kinder, Not So Scary Stories by master storyteller Sylvia Yancey Davis, plus trick-or-treating, food, and frightfully fun activities for the whole family. Don't miss this eerie evening under the stars at the Kent House. For more info, creep over to rpl.org.
What a weekend we have stretching out ahead of us. Good morning. Sunny skies on our Friday. Comfortable temperatures. 84 should do it for the afternoon high. We'll see a northeast breeze at about 5 to 10. Tonight, clear skies again, down to 55 for the overnight low. And then for Saturday and Sunday, sunshine, daytime highs in the middle 80s, overnight lows in the mid 50s. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talkback.
All right, we're back. And one more sports note. Just want to look at the high school sports for football. Last night, Tioga Indians got a win at home over Wassman. 59-36 was your final score. Games that are coming up tonight, Oakdale will be at Menard. All these games are at 7 o'clock. The Ash Trojans on the road at West Monroe. That's going to be a really good game.
Did you, I know your kids are homeschooled, but they played sports still, right?
Yep.
Like, did you enjoy going to them?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, my son is on the Louisiana Tech club volleyball team, and they have their first home game tomorrow. So we're going to go up there for that.
You looking forward to it?
Yeah.
Was it like 3 hours?
From where we live, it's only like an hour and 45 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
So
Okay.
it's like 2 hours from here.
I do like Reston. It's very nice.
Yeah. Buckeye will be at Vidalia tonight. The Bunkie Panthers are at home. Hang on a second. This just refreshed on me. Lost my spot. Where you at? Okay, yeah. Bunkie Panthers host Caldwell Parish. And scrolling through here, Grants will be at Peabody. Marksville is at Gina. That should be a pretty good game tonight. LaSalle is at Lakeview. And that looks like all of our locals. Oh, Pineville Rebels host Neville tonight. That'll be a tough one. Winfield is at Rose Pine. And the Wampus Cats of Leesville host the Yellow Jackets of Iowa. Do you say it Iowa?
Iowa. Yep.
Okay.
Iowa. Not Iowa.
I knew you would know. I thought it was Iowa, but I've heard people pronounce it Iowa too.
It's Iowa.
That's what I thought. Gotta get those things right.
It's near Lake Charles.
Yeah.
We used to play them all the time in baseball when I was in high school, and they'd always be, they were so much bigger than us, and we beat them one time
Yeah.
out of like 10. It was the biggest moment for us because we were like Class C, you know.
It's like the Brewers playing the Dodgers.
But pretty much. Absolutely. We felt special.
I saw where the town of Ball is inviting the community to come Tuesday night, 6:30 to the community center. They're going to be doing a roast of Brian Cespiva. He's been the city attorney there or town attorney, I guess, town of Ball, for 30 years.
Wow.
30 years of being the city attorney or town attorney for Ball. He's seen some stuff, I can imagine.
Yeah, I can imagine. He's got some big jobs ahead of him.
As you may or may not know, folks, he was elected as the new district judge for Rapides Parish a few months ago, and he'll be taking a seat on the bench. So, leaving as town attorney. What would you say to roast Brian?
Roast Brian?
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
You're not going to say anything?
No. He's a funny guy, though.
He is.
Yeah.
He could probably roast himself better than anyone roasting him.
I feel like if you roast somebody, you have to really, really know them.
Yeah.
Like, I could roast you. You could roast me.
True.
I'm not going to roast the mayor or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What would you do? I feel like you have something.
I think they need to let Miss Cindy come and share.
I'm sure she would.
She probably would have. No, she would always talk about what a great guy he is.
Yeah.
And how fortunate she was to be married to him.
Oh.
He truly is one of the nicest people you'll ever.
No, he is.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
We need to get him back on the show again. Enjoyed having him.
That'd be good. Absolutely. Congrats to him.
So again, that's Tuesday night, 6:30 at the Ball Community Center.
I might have to go.
That would be a lot of fun.
Film it.
There you go.
And make it live forever.
The whole thing with roasts, I think they might have jumped the shark, at least the more prominent ones, when they did the Tom Brady roast a couple years ago. Remember that one?
Mm-hmm. It was a little too much.
It was way too much.
Like, it's one thing to be funny. It's another to be just, like, completely weird and mean.
And vulgar at times.
Yeah. And look, I'm not like I'm not a prude by any means. Like, I like a good joke, but it was a little too far. It was almost too far where it's not funny anymore.
Yeah. That's the problem with humor. You can take it too far. And like my wife tells me all the time, there's always truth in humor. Because if I'll say something and I'm just kidding, there's always truth in humor. Okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
Well, I probably shouldn't have said it on there, and I'll get in trouble for that.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
I'm in, like Chevy Chase, I'm in deep. Speaking of which, it was his birthday the other day.
Was it really? Was he in his 70s?
No, he's in his 80s now, I think.
Dang.
I've noticed he's been doing more of these conventions that they have around the country where you go and sign autographs and meet the fans, and he's like completely embraced that now, whereas he always kind of had a reputation of being sort of a jerk.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Big time. Big time. Yeah, he's 82. His birthday was on the 8th. That was Wednesday.
I like to give, celebrities a break, because if you're getting constantly bombarded, and I know you have fame and fortune and fun and stuff, it's nice, but getting annoyed 24/7, never having any privacy, it might make you a little salty.
Is that how you feel here?
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you.
I'm sure when you go out with your wife, you're always getting people talking to you.
Well, it's just people being nice and talking. They're not going to ask for my autograph.
They should.
Or a picture.
Right. Next time you see Steven in the wild, I want you to ask him for his autograph.
I'll kiss your baby.
I feel like people more have gone away from the autograph thing, though, to getting pictures. That's what seems to be what people like to do.
Like a selfie thing?
Yeah.
I feel so awkward doing that.
Would you?
Yeah, like going up to a famous person and take a picture with me. I don't know. I do have one regret. I ate dinner with Michael Irvin, the Dallas Cowboys wide receiver, at the Diamond Grill one time.
I remember that.
And I didn't get any photo evidence of it, so people probably don't believe me when I tell them. But it happened.
I remember.
It was good.
Yeah.
The dude ate okay, I don't know how much I could say this, but he came down here. He had a stop in Alexandria. He needed to use a studio, so he went to KLB for like an NFL Network or ESPN thing. Filmed there, met a couple people. He's like, where do we go out for dinner? And everyone's like, oh, we go to Diamond Grill every night. And so we meet him there, and he gets like 3 entrees, eats it by himself.
Wow.
Couple beers. He bought us all a beer. We were watching Monday Night Football as the Seahawks and somebody else. It was a good time. He was nice.
Wait, what people at KLB said they always go out to Diamond Grill to eat?
Well, we just tried to seem fancier than we were.
I was going to say.
And I love Diamond Grill, but
yeah,
I don't go anywhere every night.
I don't think the salaries were in the line with doing that every
That was like my week's worth of groceries. And not because they're expensive, just because, you know, if you work in small market television, likelihood you're broke.
Yeah.
Likelihood. Unless you're in management. So.
Or sales.
Or sales. Or the boss. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why you see a lot. Not only is it because people are trying to move to bigger markets, the way to make money, like in a lot of businesses, you got to move around. You got to move and ask for like a 15 grand or 20 grand jump. Right. And that still gets you to being poor compared to your base salary.
Yeah, you thought going to Panama City you were doing well, and then you realize how expensive it is to live there.
Yeah, and it wasn't a bad salary, and I liked Panama City. It wasn't my cup of tea. Well, you had to do it. It was a good experience, you know. I really enjoyed Shreveport. Shreveport was a great market. Super nice people, honestly.
Yeah.
Some of the nicest people live there in Louisiana. And, but I wanted to come back home.
And here you are. Now you're on Talkback.
Fighting with Al every morning.
You've come full circle.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
How about that? Okay, we'll take another break and come back with...
We'll do news, I swear.
Maybe.
I promise.
All right.
KSYL. This is Dr. Jonathan Hunter. At the clinics, your health is our priority. Whether it's a routine checkup or ongoing care, we are here for you. Dr. Noah Miller, our newest family medicine physician, along with 5 other dedicated family physicians, are now accepting new patients. Schedule your appointment today. And remember, if you're ever admitted to the hospital, our doctors will see you there too. Most insurance and Medicare are accepted. The clinics, 1587 North Bolton, 445-9823, online at theclinics.us.
Central Louisiana has what it takes. Strong workforce, perfect location, and a legacy of getting things done. That's why Beaver Lake Renewable Energy is producing clean fuel in Pineville, investing $2.5 billion, bringing 1,100 construction jobs, 600 permanent jobs, and millions in local tax revenue. Made here, powered by us. Visit BeaverLakeEnergy.com and see how we're putting Central Louisiana.
Hey, y'all, grab your friends and head out this weekend. October 9th through 11th, Zawali Tamale Fiesta in Sabine. October 10th through 12th, Gumbo Festival in Thibodaux. October 11th, Louisiana Art and Folk Festival in Columbia. October 11th through 12th, K-Pasa Fest in Metairie and Hammond North Shore Regional Air Show. Visit festivals.explorelouisiana.com and make your plans to Laissez les Bon Temps Relais.
Talkback. To take part of the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK.
All right, we're back. Alan Stephen with you here on this Friday morning. Again, our number on the BOM Bank talk line, 318-442-8255. So it looks as though we may have a special session for the state legislature in October, where the agenda would be to discuss pushing back the qualifying and party primary dates for the 2026 federal election. That's the one that will include positions in Congress, state for House representatives, and then, of course, the big race, the Senate race. So they're talking about pushing that back. The reason being, we're being told, is that because the U.S. Supreme Court will be hearing oral arguments next week concerning Louisiana's congressional map, current congressional map, which, as you know, now has 2 majority-minority districts, as they're called. But a lot of people are saying that if you look at it, it is the epitome of racial gerrymandering when you have this little strip that goes all the way from Baton Rouge to Shreveport. It's not likely to survive Supreme Court challenge is the conventional thought. I guess you never know. But according to Louisiana Radio Network, Senate Governmental Affairs Chairman Caleb Kleinpeter says if the court rules after qualifying in January that the state needs to redraw the maps, Louisiana would be stuck with the current map for 2 more years. So that's why they want to maybe hold off. They're thinking the court would probably rule around February.
February, okay. Well, I think we all know it was racially gerrymandered. Like, that's a known fact because the court asked for them to racially draw the lines. I think the big argument is over, was it solely based on that? or what the opposing side says is that it was mostly based on political lines because they made sure that certain politicians, this is what they're saying, that certain politicians were drawn out of it, and one was a sacrificial lamb, right? You know, when to keep Johnson, when to keep Letlow, Graves was the guy waiting in the wings right here. So,
which some people feel like that was a little bit retribution by Governor Landry against Graves for not really supporting him in the governor's race.
And that's what they're going to argue. Will it hold up in court? I don't know. It's just such a weird thing because they were asked to do this, you know?
Listening to when I listen to Moon, which he talks a lot about this.
That's his only topic.
Recently, he's been saying that there never actually was a court order. He's asked for proof of that, and no one has provided it. It seemed to be more that it was based on comments that Judge Dick had made rather than an order per se.
It could happen. I just find it hard to believe that the state legislature would draw out a Republican because they just wanted to get back at Graves.
Have you paid attention to the state legislature in recent years?
I think it's ridiculous. Who knows? There might be something. I'm not arguing. I think it's obviously drawn on racial lines because they're told to do it.
Completely.
Yeah.
And you can't really do that.
Well,
so we'll see. And then the big eyes on the court will be on what they do with the Voting Rights Act as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of thought they may overturn that.
Because that redraw was based on the Voting Rights Act.
Correct.
And so saying that they need to have, I guess, appropriate representation for the population because 1/3 of the state's population is Black.
Yeah.
And so there should be 2 of 6.
I mean, the greatest challenge with that is, yes, maybe it is 1/3 Black, but it's so spread out. The only way you could make a district concentrated enough was what they did, gerrymandering it to make it such. But if you're doing it strictly for those purposes, I mean, it's kind of flipped it on its head. Before you couldn't do that to leave people out. Now they're doing it to put people in.
Is there any way to do this whole map drawing in an efficient, non-gerrymandered way? Like, how would you even go about this? Like, how do you do it?
I think you flip a coin. No, just kidding. No, that's a great question because you look at, and this is becoming a national issue because you're seeing other states that are redrawing their maps as well. People are saying that's creating more advantages for Republicans, and you get states like California that are wanting to do the same thing, and that would potentially give them more Democrats, even though I think, as we saw the other day, Donald Trump had like 40%, or there's like 40% Republicans in California, but certainly not 40% representation when it comes to Congress. So if we're going to say minorities need to be equally represented, if we say like Louisiana has 1/3 of people that are Black, what about in states that you say, okay, we have 30, 40%, whatever, that are Republican, but only 5% of our districts are Republican?
I think it's all stupid, right?
Yeah.
We're all assuming that every Black person is going to vote for a Black person. Every Republican is going to vote a Republican.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be basing it on either. Saying that we should have, because California is 40% GOP, they should have 40% of the representation. That's asinine in my opinion. There's a lot of Republicans that might vote Democrat or vice versa. Democrats vote Republican.
Yeah.
If you look at AOC's district in New York, if you look at the down ballot, they'd vote for Trump and then they vote for AOC. Yeah. There was a significant amount of that there. You can't base it on that. I don't know how you base it on anything. I'm not smart, but it seems like basing it on party lines, racial lines, doesn't make a whole lot of sense in my opinion.
I guess in theory or ideally, you would base it more on common interests of a district.
That's what I'm thinking, but how do you define that?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a perfect way. I don't know if other countries do it better. But one thing we could do is just have an authoritarian government, and we don't even have to worry about representatives. It wouldn't even matter.
What?
We just have a king at the top, and they just dictate what all of us do. I think that'd be the best.
It's good to be the king.
No, it's a tough one. And each side's been using it to their advantage for, I'm sure, 250 years.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to decide on this. And that's one thing when I was working in Shreveport, Alan Seaball, the state senator now, state senator, is leading this lawsuit against the map. And he's like, I don't like it when people assume that he's a white guy. I don't like it when people assume I'm only going to take care of white people and not take care of the black people in my district.
Right.
And I get the representation, and you do need that in Congress. It's just how you go about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and you can make that same argument on the flip side. Just because you have a black representative doesn't mean they're necessarily going to take care of their black constituents.
Yeah. I think, I don't know, it's tough. You see both sides of it, because I feel like white Republicans would vote for Albert Guillory. He's a black Republican. If he ran, they would probably...
Well, he did run against Cleo.
I know, but he was in a Democrat-drawn district, essentially.
Right.
So it was going to be pretty tough.
And he really didn't have much push from the state Republican Party in his race, which I was disappointed by.
Yeah. I think they knew it was a foregone conclusion at that point. So.
And they basically handed Cleo Fields the district.
Because I didn't even see Cleo do a whole lot of campaigning.
No, he really didn't.
I mean, whenever we were in Shreveport, we had him on a couple times.
There are a lot of people that confuse Cleo Fields for Clarence Fields.
Yeah, and yeah.
There are people that think that some people voted for him because they thought it was the former Pineville mayor.
Well, people don't pay attention to Congress that much.
No.
Most people probably don't even know who their congressman, woman is.
Right.
And I'm not being like condescending. I just feel like that's a fact.
Yeah.
But I don't go.
So where I live changed from being a Julie Latlow territory to Mike Johnson.
You know, I guess mine would be Cleo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
hey, let's take a call before we go to the break. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
I've thought about this, and I'm not sure if it's the right solution, but when it comes to map drawing, anybody who draws the map is going to have some a case brought against them for some implicit bias. But this seems like the job for ChatGPT to just say, here's the parameters of what we want, make equal districts that are contiguous, and just see what the map comes up with. Because I think it'd be an interesting exercise to see what it comes up with. Now, it might say that Shreveport and Lake Charles are in the same district because of the way it draws it, but it's also one of those that we can, I'm not guarantee, but at least have a less bias from and saying that it's equal representation of every type of person in the state.
Yeah,
that actually is a very fascinating idea. You could run several AI programs, see how they compare. And
even if we just took that as a starting point, and it's like, okay, here's this. It doesn't make sense that it cuts out of all of this one parish. Let's add it in there because it really feels more like y'all talked about culture and community. It feels like it actually would make more sense that it is here.
Yeah.
And so gives you at least a better idea of a way to have a starting point, because it seems like every time they come up with one of these to start off with, it's like, okay, well, there's some problems from the get-go, and you just made it a little bit less worse than what it was before.
Right.
And that's if you're assuming AI is the unbiased arbiter of map drawing. Yeah. You just never know.
Well,
but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but it can incorporate a lot more of calculations of population density and the population makeup quicker than any one person can, but who knows? It could come out as the most racist map that we've ever seen before. So,
yeah. I feel like I know Louisiana pretty well. We all do. I feel like we could draw a map that at least gets close to the same interest in all 6 of those districts pretty easily.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Shreveport,
I
Monroe.
think so.
You know, you lump all those in together.
Yeah.
Tensas Parish, you could probably put them in there, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, if you had something that was based on the municipalities themselves.
Because Shreveport, Monroe interact decently enough, you know, like they could probably coalesce a little bit better. You know, Alexandria, we could even probably throw in Natchitoches in there. Maybe that could go into Shreveport too, and throw in maybe parts of right above Lake Charles. And then Lake Charles, Lafayette would be a good segment, you know. I'm just doing it off the top of my head.
Greater Baton Rouge area.
Greater Baton Rouge.
Greater New Orleans area.
New Orleans. Boom, bam. Map drawn.
We just solved the state's problems.
They should hire
a 3-minute conversation.
We could be consultants, and we'll charge $1 million.
Well, we're not getting paid to do it. We don't have a political agenda, so it was pretty easy for us.
That's right.
Absolutely. You have a great day.
Thanks for the call. Great call. Appreciate that. We're back right after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics.
Ready for the ultimate game day? This football season, Southern Air and LSU Athletics want you as the Southern Air fan of the game. Each week, one lucky winner scores 4 LSU home game tickets, VIP hospitality, pregame sideline access, and the chance to cheer on the Tigers. Plus, all winners are entered to win a brand new side-by-side at season's end. Enter now at southernairnow.com or Southern Air's Facebook page. Southern Air, cooling, heating, plumbing, and generators. Learn more at southernairnow.com. Go Tigers.
Great news, everybody. Karen is back at Wilmore's Mobile and Sub Express, located right there at the intersection of North MacArthur Drive and Bayou Rapides Road. Hungry for breakfast? Karen will hook you up with biscuits, croissants, subs, and all the hot coffee you can handle. Just stop by any weekday morning from 6 a.m. till 9 and get your day started right. It's breakfast just the way you like it. Fresh, hot, and satisfying. Now I'm hungry. At Wilmore's Mobile and Sub Express on MacArthur Drive at Bayou Rapides Road.
Brian Ranke here from Sunday Night Football on Westwood One. Mike Golick and I will be in Kansas City this week for the Lions and the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City saw their 2-game winning streak end on Monday night with a loss to the Jags. Now they face Jared Goff in Detroit, who are 4-1 and looking for a 5th straight win. Join us for all the action. Lions and the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football.
On Sinla's home for the NFL, 94.7 ESPN.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talkback.
All right, we're back. Let's take another call. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Hey, good morning, guys. It's Nathan. I'm out of town and I'm not able to listen. So I have no idea if I'm jumping in the middle of something else, but I needed to fix a mistake I made Tuesday morning that I'm getting some feedback on. Is it okay if I clarify that real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
So Stephen and I were on Tuesday morning and I was telling people that the Pineville City Council meeting was moving from Tuesday to Monday. And I referenced it was because of the Veterans Day holiday. But dummy me, Veterans Day is not till November. So then Tuesday to Monday change is not happening until next month, not next week, as I said. And I've gotten several phone calls, and City Hall's gotten some phone calls because Nathan's a dummy and can't tell the difference between October and November.
Well, when you said Veterans Day, I was kind of confused, but I was like, man, he's elected, so he must know what he's talking about.
Dude, never trust just because somebody's elected. You know better than that. But I do apologize. I thank y'all for letting me call in because I've gotten some feedback, and City Hall's gotten some phone calls. But it's powerful to show the reach of the show. But so many people that listen and they heard that information. But I want to make sure I go on record fixing my mistake because it won't be until next Tuesday that I'm back on the show, and it'll be too late for me to fix the mistake then.
I wonder if how many people called would actually showed up to the meeting anyway, if that popular.
I don't know. That's a good question. That'd be a good way. I'm sure Taylor and the guys would appreciate knowing the test case run of the reach of the KSYL Talkback audience.
That's right. Absolutely. Where are you going?
Well, I'm up here at a men's retreat north of Natchitoches. It's something I do, 3 or 4 times a year, help lead these things. And, yeah, we're having a blast. We got 100-something guys up here and at a camp out in the middle of the woods. I had to step outside to get cell signals. That's how far in the woods I am.
All right. Well, have a good time.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. You hear the music? That means we're out of time. We have much more coming up. A full hour of Talkback and Open Line coming up after the CBS News. Stay with
us. You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenla Broadcasting. AM 970, FM 104.9, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3, HD3, Alexandria.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A ceasefire in Gaza took effect this morning after Israel's government formally approved an agreement with Hamas on the first phase of President Trump's peace plan. This Israeli man waiting for the hostages.
We hope that he returns safe and sound, and we wish that with God's help, within the next 2 or 3 days, we will see him.
Thousands of Palestinians who'd gathered in central Gaza are marching northward.
Even if the house is destroyed, even if it's just rubble, we'll go back, put up a tent, and return to our people.
Correspondent Weijia Zhang at the White House.
President Trump says he will leave on Sunday for the Middle East, where he will attend the signing of the peace deal agreement in Egypt and address the Knesset, Israel's parliament in Jerusalem. He plans to be there when the hostages are released.
The White House is blaming politics after the Nobel Committee passed over the president and awarded this year's Peace Prize to Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado.
Thank you so much, but I hope you understand this is a movement. This is a achievement of a whole society. I am just, one person.
It's day 10 of a government shutdown here in the U.S., and travelers may face holdups as the Columbus Day weekend begins.
52,000 flights are scheduled today to handle the moderate surge, but the FAA has been flagging air traffic control facilities for low staffing levels in recent days, as some air traffic controllers expected to work despite not getting paid call in sick instead.
CBS's Michael Toscano. More of us are falling behind on car payments.
More than 6% of subprime auto loans are 60 days or more overdue. That's a record. 1.7 million cars were repossessed last year, the most since 2009, the Great Recession. Higher car prices and interest rates have more buyers stretching their budgets and taking out longer loans. Some can't keep up. Consumer Reports Autos editor Keith Barry.
Get pre-approved for a loan, put down as much money as you can, and avoid those long-term loans.
Experience is the average interest rate on a used car loan is 12%. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
The latest French export, a scented stamp. Vicki Barker is at the foreign desk this morning. After l'amour, the French love their wine, their cheese, and their croissants, those crescent-shaped breakfast pastries found on cafe tables across the land. And now, the French Post Office has created a special edition scratch and sniff airmail postage stamp that emits the scent of a croissant. Dow futures are up 61, S&P futures ahead 2, NAS futures up 5. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive. See why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive to stay protected on the road. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
When I asked Scott Lucky if his last name had anything to do with his success in the trucking industry, he laughed and said, "Well, Mike, I guess you could say I've always been lucky." But when I asked him how he and his family grew Lucky Distribution Services into the company it is today, he didn't talk about luck at all. "We work hard," he said. "We keep a close eye on the bottom line, and we treat our people the right way." In other words, Scott Lucky makes his own luck, which is precisely why he switched to Pure Talk Business. "Last month, I paid the big guys $740 for 12 lines," he told me. "This month, I paid Pure Talk $420 for the exact same service." Thousands of businesses all over the country are saving real money by switching to America's most dependable 5G network, and luck has nothing to do with it. Just dial pound 250 and say micro. That's pound 250 micro to switch to a wireless company that works as hard as you do. Pure Talk.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Sean Burns. The Louisiana Department of Health has a warning for those of you who get Botox injections. Andrew Greenstein reports.
State epidemiologist Teresa Sokol says Botox purchased online or administered by someone with unknown licensure have had devastating consequences.
We received 2 reports of botulism-like illness following botulinum toxin injection.
Both became so sick that they needed to be hospitalized. Sokol says when not administered properly, Botox can cause botulism.
Botulinum toxin is highly lethal. So anyone with symptoms of botulism should seek medical help immediately.
I'm Andrew Greenstein.
It has been a dry couple of months in Louisiana and still not much rain in sight. Outdoor burn bans are in effect for Caddo, DeSoto, St. Landry, and Acadia parishes. Agriculture Commissioner Mike Strain says even if you're in a different parish,
don't go inside to get a libation. Don't go take a nap. Don't leave it.
Be sure to watch the fire. LRN.
This is Dr. Jonathan Hunter with the clinics. We provide primary, family, and chronic care along with gastroenterology, podiatry, with on-site lab and x-ray services. I'm pleased to welcome family physician Dr. Noah Miller to our team. We are currently accepting new patients and same-day appointments are available. If you're admitted into the hospital, our doctors will see you there as well. Most insurance and Medicare are accepted. The clinic's on North Dalton, 445-9823, and online at theclinics.us.
What a weekend we have stretching out ahead of us. Good morning. Sunny skies on our Friday. Comfortable temperatures. 84 should do it for the afternoon high. We'll see a northeast breeze at about 5 to 10. Tonight, clear skies again, down to 55 for the overnight low. And then for Saturday and Sunday, sunshine, daytime highs in the middle 80s, overnight lows in the mid 50s. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Big Gratian.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
This should not be happening. And I don't think, look, as a member of Congress, we already have a low enough job approval rating. This shutdown is just going to drive everybody's approval rating that much lower.
But so you're putting the blame on the leadership of your party.
Absolutely. We control the House. We control the Senate. We have the White House. I've been vocal saying, you can use the nuclear option in the Senate. This doesn't have to be a shutdown. But what we have to do is we have to work for the American people. And our country is so divided right now. We see it all the time in every single way. It's divided in what I would say very dangerous ways.
All right, welcome back, everyone. It's our Friday Talkback. Alan Stephen with you. 318-442-8255 is our phone number. And Stephen, you had sent me that clip from Marjorie Taylor Greene appearing on CNN yesterday. She's been pretty vocal lately about a number of things and seems to be saying more often that what's going on right now is really hurting just common Americans. Here's another soundbite I found from her.
It is hurting so many people, Manu, seriously, so many people across the board, no matter how they vote. I'm literally calling it out and saying, let's take off our Democrat jerseys, let's take off our Republican jerseys, and we should do something responsible for the American people and fix this.
All right.
I'm just so hurt that I can agree with her wholeheartedly. I think what she's doing is, I don't want to exaggerate it, and you never know with politics. It's very brave.
Yeah.
I don't agree with her on a lot of stuff. I thought she said some ridiculous stuff in her day as Congresswoman.
Yeah.
But that's the true kind of attitude that we need to have. You need to have your left-wingers and your right-wingers, because she's right at the right wing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we see some of the left-wingers trying to work with her, too. I think some of those fringes actually want to be legitimate, more populist, to get things done in America instead of playing this weird money game that the elitists play.
Right.
And I'm telling you, if you have that attitude, you could be the right winger. You can take some of those more left populist types. I'm telling you, they'll work with you.
Mm-hmm.
They'll try and get things done.
Okay, so I want to get back to her, but then here's something else that I guess House Speaker Mike Johnson was on Fox and Friends this morning, and he's saying that he's learned that Chuck Schumer plans to keep the government shut until after the No Kings rally that's set for October 18th in D.C. Here's what he had to say about that.
A very patient guy, but I have had it with these people. They're playing games with real people's lives. The theory we have right now, they have a Hate America rally that's scheduled for October 18th on the National Mall. It's all the pro-Hamas wing and the Antifa people. They're all coming out. Some of the House Democrats are selling T-shirts for the event, and it's being told to us that they won't be able to reopen the government until after that rally because they can't face their rabid base. I mean, this is serious business hurting real people. And I'm beyond words. I can't believe they're actually doing this.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, you're talking about that No Kings rally. Real quickly before we move.
All right.
I mean, I don't know if it has anything to do with that, It's just probably more politics at the end of the day. I mean, let's be honest, Chuck Schumer, politics.
Yeah.
These are all part of the same group that we're all concerned about, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with a rally, even if you hate what they're about. You know, if you have a peaceful protest, that's what we're part of the First Amendment, right?
Well, what Johnson's been saying and others is that Schumer is so beholden to the extreme left wing now because he's got a fight on his hands for his own political future in New York, with AOC kind of breathing down his neck.
And he's beholden to the MAGA movement. So what? I mean, they're trying to push their own agendas, right? That's just the way it goes, whether you agree with it or not.
I mean, at the end of the day, what the Republicans passed in a continuing resolution was basically no changes to what's currently happening. The issue seems to be the Democrats are upset that there's nothing in there to extend subsidies for Obamacare, which they had put in, I think, in 2021, knowing that they were going to expire in 2025. So this is nothing new. It raises so many other points, and I'm seeing a lot of chatter over the last week about just healthcare in general, Obamacare specifically, and its massive failures and its extreme expense. I mean, every day I hear different stories about what's going on in the medical world. I heard a story this morning talking about the incredible amount of increase of time people have to wait in emergency rooms to get care. It's like an average 4 hours now. If you go to the emergency room, you're going to wait. Some people wait up to 24 hours to get care in an emergency room.
I think we can all agree. Obamacare didn't do everything they hoped it would. Maybe it helped in other ways too, but it's just one of those things. Like healthcare wasn't bad just because of Obamacare. It was bad before that too, and we refused to try.
It had its issues, but what I predicted was going to happen, and I think it really has happened, is that it wouldn't fix what needed to be fixed, and it would just break what was working, and that really seems to be what's happened. Now back to MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I think a lot of it too, before you jump on to the next thing, and like, look, I'm no healthcare expert, but Republicans saying Obamacare is a failure is like them pouring Freon into their cornflakes in the morning and saying, I don't know why I got sick. Well, of course it's not going to work if you sabotage it every second you get. They've been trying to repeal it since it started.
Yeah, I also think it was set up to not work so that it would eventually lead to a one-payer system.
That's what the left probably wants.
Yeah. I don't think there's any question.
100%.
So on that note, Marjorie Taylor Greene just posted this a couple hours ago. Her words, health insurance is a scam and it's failing everyone while the insurance companies make huge profits. They get paid directly from the government on the front end for every person. Democrats created this problem in 2010, made it worse in 2021, and Republicans have never fixed it. That's a pretty fair assessment. But what is interesting is she posted that while reposting, sharing a tweet by a gentleman, and some of you might recognize this name, Heath Villiman, who is a Louisiana College graduate, actually served on the board of trustees for a while, was a local businessman. I'm not really sure what he's doing now. I'm looking at his Twitter profile. He just describes himself as a healthcare mercenary, but this is what he posted. He said, I'm really sick of hearing this. The government is not subsidizing people. They're subsidizing insurance companies. The American people are paying thousands upon thousands of dollars for a product that is, for all intents and purposes, useless. United Healthcare, whose revenue is about negative 50% dependent on the government subsidies, denies 33% of the claims, according to 2023 data. Aetna denies 20% of claims. Blue Cross Blue Shield denies 18% of claims. Elevance, Cigna, Centene deny 16 to 17% of claims. Humana, which when you consider the Military Benefits Administration is basically a government payer, denies 12%. And all of the denied insurance claims in the U.S., only 1% of them are appealed. And of those appealed, only 46% of that are overturned. Health insurance is a scam. It's a farce. The subsidy isn't for the patient. The physicians don't get paid at all 20% of the time. And when they do get paid, there's always some kind of adjustment lowering the reimbursement. And it takes an average 71 days to get paid. This is insanity.
Yep. Amen, brother.
So he's showing how the government subsidies under Obamacare, he shared a tweet from Byron York, takes a chart from the Wall Street Journal that shows in 2014, people enrolled in Affordable Care Act plans receiving a subsidy went from about 5 million people in 2014 to over 20 million in 2025. So people that are on Obamacare who don't get a subsidy, that number has remained almost the same throughout the last 15 years, but the numbers receiving a subsidy has risen dramatically. So I don't know. It's a mess.
Yeah, let's fix it. Like, I don't understand why that wasn't the main issue in the 2024 presidential election. That's something that affects all of us. Medical debt is the number one reason why people go into bankruptcy.
Yep.
Now, we're all one bad thing from happening, from being completely screwed. A lot of us.
Yeah.
You know? Why is that not the number one issue? I just never understood that, but I'm glad they're talking about it. But there are completely opposing views on how to handle this.
Oh, I know.
Because AOC, Bernie Sanders, would love Medicare for all.
Socialized health care, 100%.
And that might be better than what we're doing now. But then the other side wants a free market system, which would be kind of unusual compared to the rest of the world. But we got to figure something out. But there's a lot of money involved in this.
Bingo, that's it. All right, good morning. You're on Talkback.
Hey, good morning. I was about to welcome Stephen to the conservative side, and then he said that it might be better than what we're doing now.
It would probably be better than what we're doing now. Absolutely.
In
other
what
countries,
world?
Other countries are successfully handling healthcare significantly better than we are.
Understand why? You understand why those other countries have a cushion? They have a cushion because the American taxpayer pays the burden for that cushion. Without us, none of the other countries' healthcare systems work. They get cheap drugs because we pay all the profits. So you take away the American taxpayer, and every one of these countries that has these hyper welfare systems, they all go flat. First of all, they can't defend themselves, and they can't afford their own medicine. If they had to pay market prices like we pay, then they couldn't afford it. So that's done. There's a rule in economics: that which you subsidize, you get more of; that which you tax, you get less of. And I know the Democrats love to complicate things and make these big charts and everything. Kamala Harris loved these pie charts but that's to hide the truth. That's what I said, Kamala Harris.
Okay, there you go.
What did I say? I said Kamala Harris, didn't I?
Maybe. Sorry. I apologize. Keep going.
That's okay.
I'll shut up.
No, hey, I appreciate your vehement defense of her. But
I don't
she loves the charts.
I appreciate your vehement defense of everything that Trump does. I appreciate it.
Well, no, I won't defend his overspending, but I will defend everything he does that helps the conservative party and helps the American people. Anyways, we saw when the government got involved in education, what happened to the prices? The prices skyrocketed. The prices skyrocketed. We got more government control. They had more ideas. Every year they come up with more ideas, and every year we had more bureaucracy injected into education, and the price went up for the student. It's the same thing in healthcare. It's going to be the same thing here in Louisiana in auto insurance. Everywhere where the government gets involved, the prices go up. Everywhere where the government, and I'll use that LASIK eye surgery again, eye procedures. That is a perfect example of when the government is not involved and people search out doctors on their own, the price comes down for everything. Can you give me one example where prices haven't come down in a market-based product? There isn't.
Dude,
there isn't.
So I don't think I think one concern too, and I'm open to all things, so I'm not going to completely argue against you. But when you're in an emergency situation, you're not thinking about, I'm going to go to, am I going to pick a Cabrini or Rapides? Let's go shop around for the best price.
Yes.
It can be very exploitative.
Yes, but it is bad to make policy on emergencies or on the fringe.
Well, that's the main reason why you go to the hospital. Most of the time is an emergency. That's why you go to the emergency room.
But all right, think of in your life, how much of your health care has been constituted by trips to the emergency room?
What'd you say again? I'm sorry.
Well, just considering your own personal life, or Al's, or anyone. Most of our lives is not spent. Most of the money we spend on medicine, and healthcare is just going to the doctor for regular things, getting our teeth cleaned, getting checkups, getting glasses. The emergency room visits. I mean, I'm 62 years old. I've been in the emergency room Maybe once. I don't remember if I've ever been in an emergency
That's
room.
good for you.
Now,
That's not for a lot of people.
Well, I did
But the
hear
people
that
who are-
that report I was telling about earlier talked about how a lot of people now use the emergency room instead of waiting to go to see their primary provider, especially if it's like over the weekend or that sort of thing. So that's driven up the amount of waiting time.
Because
as
of
well
the
as
wait
cost.
times, right.
Yeah.
I was actually on hold to talk to y'all to make that point, and you made the point, so I hung up. But yes, because it is not, because of the government intervention, the rules in Obamacare is that they get that care at emergency rooms, so they go there for anything. And everybody in medicine knows this. So I don't understand why anyone is supporting the Democrats on anything they do. Every step.
What
that
is the
we've taken to
Republicans' health care plan? I don't hear anything about it.
It's free market. It's LASIK eye surgery. Look, every step that we've taken towards where we are. You said where we are is bad. You said socialized medicine may be better than where we are. So where we are, we can all agree where we are is bad. Every step that we have taken towards where we are has been authored by the Democratic Party. And a lot of it, a giant leap, was Obamacare. So we have to admit what the truth is, that there are certain basic principles that are true no matter who is involved, and then hold to those principles and get the politics out of it. It will never work this way. I promise you, they will have another thing that maybe Kamala Care, if she gets elected, or AOC Care after that, and they'll promise great things. Remember what Obamacare said? If you like your doctor, get your doctor. If you like your plan, you get your plan. The average American family will see $2,400 in reduction in the health care. None of it was true. Everybody hated it. All the working people. Now look, the 24 million that they said have no insurance, that are basically hard case welfare cases that don't do anything to help themselves, they love it because they get everything for free. How much money, Stephen, that you make should go to me?
What do you mean for what?
What percent for my health care? How much of what you make should go to taking care of me and my family?
I don't know, Dave. I don't know the numbers.
What would you want? If you could pick the number, how much would you want to pay for me?
I'll give you a couple dollars to go get your eyes checked out for LASIK surgery.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's all I would expect. Yes. But you're giving a lot more than that. Anyways, I know I've taken too long. Thank you. Y'all have a great weekend.
All right.
I genuinely wouldn't mind paying taxes to have a better healthcare system. That's my opinion. We can disagree. We give taxes all the time to blow up other countries. I'd rather just pay it on my healthcare.
All right, we're behind on the break. We'll come back and talk about that.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
Dentures. You can't live with them, and you definitely can't live without them. But what if we told you there's a better way? Today's Dental in Pineville is here to revolutionize your smile. Say goodbye to old-fashioned adhesives and endless appointments. They've made getting implants incredibly simple, low anxiety, and affordable for everyone. Picture this. In-office IV sedation administered by a highly skilled, certified nurse anesthetist, making the procedure low anxiety and stress-free. And the best part? Their multiple finance options make implants truly affordable. Don't wait. If you're ready to replace those old-timey dentures with permanent implants, call Today's Dental on Highway 28 East in Pineville at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility owned by Dr. Jonas Gauthier. That's 448-4540. Your perfect smile is just a call away. Today's Dental, because you deserve the best.
Got a big day ahead of you? Then it's best to fuel up with some of Cenla's best at Bricato's restaurant. Walk right in and just smell that home-style cooking. Place your order, take a seat, and do breakfast right till 9:30 this morning. Get fresh biscuits, eggs any way you like them, melt-in-your-mouth pancakes, grits, hash browns, sausage, bacon, even wraps and sandwiches. And don't forget their fresh brewed coffee. Bricato's Restaurant, 28 West, right across from the Coliseum. Your breakfast is waiting for you.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talk back.
All right, so that's where I would disagree with you because I think that's been the whole problem is paying my taxes that go toward healthcare has created, in a large part, what we're seeing. The amount of federal money that has gone into healthcare since 1965 is exactly why we're in the boat that we're in. Blend that with insurance companies, and it's been a disaster. It's an abject disaster. And I just, for the heck of it, typed in the break, how much has the cost of healthcare increased since 1965? From 41 billion to nearly 5 trillion. That was in 2023. As a percentage of the U.S. economy, spending on healthcare rose from approximately 5.9% in 1965 to 17.6% in 2023. And then I've noticed like some of the links that it gives you what caused spending on hospital care to dramatically increase in the U.S. after 1965. The rise was the consequence of greatly expanded government and government-subsidized private insurance coverage operating in an environment where payments for insured care by and large covered whatever costs were incurred. And then...
Well, I think hospitals and insurers are able to set their rates without a whole lot of transparency too at this point.
Absolutely. But that's what I'm saying is it's
other
like,
countries can negotiate
It's like
more.
defense. When you started seeing stories about toilet seats that cost $500 or $5,000, there's so much waste and graft when the government money gets into it that it always drives it up to be more expensive, less productive, and less effective. And that's why I am a free market principle person. I really do think that that's the only solution to all of this. But
it'd be an anomaly for sure. Let's see if it works.
I mean,
it's not really done across the world.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
but
because it's not your normal market system, in my opinion. It's a lot more complicated than that. And like you just don't shop around for a doctor when you're dying, or you don't know what the best treatment is sometimes, and it gets very confusing. It's not something that you can just like, I'm gonna buy an iPhone or a Samsung. It's a complicated market.
But does it have to be?
And we should maybe let the government negotiate those prices more. We're letting it happen without a lot of transparency.
Yeah, but see, I feel like, well, there's just...
You can't compare, like you can't say the government control in American's healthcare system is the same as the government control in Switzerland or Sweden. Switzerland might have a more free market system than ours, significantly. Like you get a lot more choice, a lot more shopping around. We don't get that at all.
When are you moving?
I don't know
the
answer.
When are you moving to Sweden, by the way?
It'd probably be really nice. Go visit some of those.
You could visit your friend Sven.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to go that far with it, Al. I'm just saying we could do better than what we're doing now. If you want to do free market, let's do something better. I agree. Whatever y'all want to do, we got to do something. I'm glad it's being talked about.
All right, let's go back to the phones. Good morning. You're on Talk About It.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday.
Hey, how are you, sir?
I just had to call in to say I'm glad you're not hating on the Pirates. If the Pirates ever get a team to form around Skeens, maybe Al's animosity will be aimed more in the Pirate direction. But
you mean future Met, future Yankee, or future Dodger, Paul Skeens?
Well, yeah. You know how it goes.
Yeah, I do. All too well.
It's hard to think of Pittsburgh as a small market.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to be kidding me.
I know.
But then again, you know, I want you to help me out here, Al.
Okay.
Sing along to 79. We are family pilots. All right, we are family. That's right. I can't imagine why anybody thought that was a bad time.
Okay, so let me off the top of my head, you had Willie Stargell at first, Phil Garner at second, shortstop, I'm drawing a blank, third base, Bill Madlock, catcher, Manny Sanguian, outfield, Dave Parker, Taveras, and trying to remember the other one. That's not too bad.
No, they had a good
Tim
team.
Foley was the shortstop, wasn't he?
That's right. Yeah. But remember, they were still recovering from Clemente's death.
Yeah.
You know, what would they have been with Clemente in left or center for that matter?
You think he still would have been playing at that point? He would have been over 40.
Oh, Clemente?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he definitely would have.
Huh.
But anyways, it is just, I just wanted to spread some cheer. Hell, the whole government involvement in things, whether you're in favor of it or not, just try to keep in mind we're all paying taxes for stuff that we don't use.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the very worst part of it is, and I don't say it's all bad because I don't. I agree with Stephen. I'm just, it's so complex. The worst part of it is, though, that there's a 35% administrative cut for every tax dollar that goes to something else, because somebody has to pay the bureaucrats, the federal bureaucrats that are now laid off, the state bureaucrats that do all these things. In other words, that's where the efficiency is.
Yeah.
And the market would cut that out, but it wouldn't necessarily mean that everybody experienced it better.
Yeah.
So it's easy to see the waste when, 35% of what you're paying in is going not to someone else to help someone else. It's going to someone else so that they have a job. And no wonder the pain of the furloughs are spread all over the country.
Well,
think about how many bureaucrats it takes.
Yeah, in the U.S., numbers look at 15 to 25% goes to administrative costs in the U.S. for healthcare.
Oh no, it's far greater than that.
Okay.
Because you got to add the huge chunk of insurance.
Well, that's still a lot, 15 to 25%.
Oh yeah, of course it is.
Sweden's 3%.
And it's clearly underestimated. Trust me, I don't know of any doctor who wouldn't prefer that somebody just simply pay them right up front for whatever their services are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a single one. And because of competition, there would be, I don't know that it would be less expensive. Let me put it that way. But it would be, you would know what you're paying for. Just like I know that I'm paying Social Security, and so are you, for money that I'm never going to collect. The Social Security Administration Trust Fund is empty, has been empty.
Yeah. Yes.
And I'm paying for.
But what infuriates
other
me
people who are old
is how many people that came to the country illegally have tapped into the Social Security benefits.
I hope none. That's the way it should be. You pay in, you take out, but that's not the way it was set up.
Right.
And we let the bureaucrats decide for us.
Yep.
I don't say they're bad people. I don't. They like their jobs. I get it. No wonder they're complaining.
Yeah.
I mean, I do.
Yep.
But anyways, just remember, the pirates may always be bad, but they had their time. It was a long time ago. Al and I probably the only ones who remember.
Fondly, yes. I hope they can win again one day.
I hope so too, but I'm not counting on it.
All right. Have a great weekend.
Not until they bring back the hats.
There you go.
The 70s hats.
Yes.
When they bring back the 70s hats, then I'll say, maybe there is hope.
With the flat top and the lines around it.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
They were great. Take care. Happy Friday, gentlemen.
Thanks.
Sure, you too. We need to take a break.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. According to a Goldman Sachs Group analysis of state-level filings released during the federal government shutdown, applications for U.S. unemployment benefits rose last week. Initial claims rose to about 235,000 in the week ended October 4th from the bank's estimate of roughly 224,000 the prior week. The Labor Department did not publish its weekly report Thursday due to the government shutdown, but it did release downloadable data for most states. Mortgage rates fell for the first time in 3 weeks. Freddie Mac says the average for 30-year fixed loans was 6.3%, down slightly from last week. Despite the lower rate, home buyers are treading cautiously, still dealing with affordability challenges and concerns over where the economy might be headed. Big news coming out of the Bloomberg Screen Time Conference in Los Angeles, as the film chiefs at Warner Brothers Discovery have confirmed that the studio will make a sequel to this year's hit film, A Minecraft Movie. The sequel will be released in movie theaters in July of 2027. I'm Dan Schwartzman, Bloomberg Radio.
Attention all real estate agents, property owners, and lenders. When you or a client needs a real estate attorney, call the professionals at Thompson Law Firm. Whether the legal matter is basic or complex, the Thompson Law Firm can accurately guide you or your client to a successful outcome. That's why numerous industry professionals have trusted the Thompson Law Firm for years. They also handle estate planning, successions, and business law. Call them at 473-0052. I am a paid non-client attorney spokesperson.
Tired of noisy neighbors? Want to keep pets in and problems out? Sounds like you need a Promo fence. At Promo Fencing and Lawn Care, our fences don't just work, they wow. From classic cedar and pine privacy fences to durable chain link, sleek metal, and aluminum, even decorative fencing. We've got something for every home, yard, or business, big or small, residential or commercial, all with free estimates, expert installs, and small town customer care. Promo Fencing and Lawn Care, fences that feel like home.
According to a 2022 FBI statistic, less than 0.01% of all altercations require a lethal response. Now, think about that. Now, we all have a safety plan. If you don't, you need one that includes firearms. That's only necessary less than 1% of the time. So what is your new plan for 99.99% of the time? Well, you can start with the Byrna Launcher, BYRNA. It's the less lethal launcher that can de-escalate any situation for 99% of any altercations. Now, the new Byrna Compact Launcher is the smallest, less lethal option to date. It's concealable anywhere. It fires powerful kinetic rounds, tear gas, pepper spray. It also can stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes. No background checks, legal in all 50 states. It ships straight to your door. Byrna, because your first line of defense should always be less lethal. Just go to byrna.com today and find the right launcher for you and your family to be safe. That's byrna.com.
What a weekend we have stretching out ahead of us. Good morning. Sunny skies on our Friday. Comfortable temperatures. 84 should do it for the afternoon high. We'll see a northeast breeze at about 5 to 10. Tonight, clear skies again, down to 55 for the overnight low. And then for Saturday and Sunday, sunshine, daytime highs in the middle 80s, overnight lows in the mid 50s. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
Talk back. To take part of the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK.
I've got some bad news for you.
What's that?
Well, I've been doing a deep dive into Sweden. The downside of living there, the weather's not always the best. It tends to be very cool and the winters are dark and rainy. So I don't think that's for you.
You don't have to be sarcastic and say I want to move to Sweden just because I think that they do healthcare better than us. That's all I'm saying.
You don't have to get butthurt about it. I'm just having fun. I'm just having fun.
You can have your free market system when you're dying on the bus or something, and you're like, man, I'm going to shop around for the best hospital. And then the insurance, your private insurance company can be like, well, we got to make $1 too, so maybe we won't cover this for you. But you've only been to the hospital probably once, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm just glad we're talking about
I want the days where, like, you can go to the doctor and just give them a couple of your chickens.
We can call it the "Don't Tread on Me" hospital system.
I've been reading up a lot of the pros and cons and what's going on.
Nothing's ever perfect, right?
Not in this world. All right. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. You want to talk back?
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Back to this medical insurance you're discussing. I have an idea. I don't know if it'd work, but I've been on Medicare since I'm 65, just like anybody else can do. It's funded by 1.45% the employee pays and the employee matches that. It works great. I've been on it for 5 years, never had any problem, never heard anybody complaining. It pays 80%, and you got to buy a supplement. I have a co-insurance based 20%. Never had to pay anything over the years. Why not have a tax to cover everybody under 65 and have, 2 or 3% to the employee and have the employer match that? What do you see any problem with that? Why wouldn't that work? Because Medicare works great. And they cover anybody under 65.
Never.
And I'm just throwing out that percentage. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, and you got to admit, Medicare works great. I've never heard anybody complain about it. And I'll just hang up and listen to what y'all might say.
All right. Thank you for your call. Really appreciate your thoughts. Hadn't thought about it like that. You have any thoughts?
No. Like I said, I'm no healthcare expert, but I'm at least trying to figure it out besides free market. It's going to work. This is not that simple. At least I'm trying to think about it. What do you think?
I've thought about it a ton.
You've thought about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
do it.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to hear other people's thoughts on what that caller just said. It's got me thinking, that's for sure. And I don't know. I mean, I'm a couple of years away from Medicare.
Not too far.
Which is ironic.
You could save some money and go take a trip to Sweden and see how they do it. Report back to me.
Okay.
Or Switzerland or something.
I actually had neighbors, people I rented a house from when I lived in Wisconsin were from Finland. Loved those people. They were so nice. And
heard it's a nice place.
So the apartment I rented was actually attached to their house. It was over their garage. And then they in the basement, they had a sauna. They're like, you can use it anytime you want.
Yeah, they like that stuff over there, I think.
Very good for you. Very healthy for you.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing with Americans is we need to be more proactive about taking care of ourselves.
That's a good point, too.
Which you do. I'll give you credit. You're in shape.
I've been pretty bad lately, but I try.
Better than I am.
That's the personal responsibility you need in healthcare. You need to get your butt up off the couch and start running.
At least walk.
That's personal responsibility.
I agree. All right. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Well, Stephen is right because no one should go bankrupt because needing health care.
Right. Yeah, no, I think everybody agrees with that.
Well, I don't know. Well, I'm going to tell you something. Can I change the subject for a second?
Sure.
You know, we hack on the U.S. government all the time, but I'm reading this article. I thought the government got it right. And that is that in World War II, you know, the government, there was some German Army females captured, and the government didn't know what to do with them. So they brought them to the U.S., and they brought them to the U.S., and the women thought they were going to be tortured or worked to death or starved to death or whatever. But you know what they did with them? They took them to Odessa, Texas, and put them on a cow ranch.
Really?
And there were no prisoners. There were no prison guards, no fences, because there's nowhere from back in the 40s in Odessa, Texas. You were out there. You were not going to go nowhere. So the women stayed there on the ranch and lived in the bunkhouses because the men were out fighting the war. And the women, by the time it was all finished, the women were riding and roping and, you know, shoeing and all kinds of stuff.
That's interesting. I had never heard that.
They said that was like, what? It's like being, you know, it's like so different from what they thought it was going to be.
Wow, that would be an interesting, like, documentary or movie.
It would be, you know. And the women, a lot of the women just stayed home. Some of them went back to check on their families, but most of them stayed here.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. Thanks. Yeah, I noticed too that gold went over $4,000 an ounce the other day.
Yeah, that's you know, people are talking about paying their taxes. The government don't need your taxes. No, they can just print the money.
True.
And so that's I don't know what to make about that. That's usually a bad sign.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Good sign if you're an investor in gold. Thank you for the call. Like Jesse Kelly always promotes, or all the other talk shows. Invest in gold. Maybe we should have.
I don't know.
It's gone up like double in the last 6 years, something like that.
Wow.
From 2,000 an ounce to 4,000.
There you go.
Should have bought more gold, Stephen, then you could afford health care.
You had the gold standard right there.
That's it. We're back with more.
KSYL.
Woo, this party is a blast. Thanks. The community center here at England Airport has been so easy to work with. They let me pick my own caterer, decorator, and DJ, and they handle the rest. I definitely recommend them for your upcoming 40th birthday party. You mean the 29th?
Make your special occasion more memorable. Book the community center at England Air Park. For availability and details on rental agreements and event planning services, visit englandairpark.org.
Hello, I'm Sarah Kramer of Kramer Funeral Home. Funerals don't just signify that a life has ended. They celebrate that a life was lived and loved. At Kramer Funeral Home, we understand the importance of celebrating a life well lived. And since no two people are alike, no two funerals should be alike. We will assist you step by step in creating a meaningful service that honors your loved one's unique life. Let us, the staff at Kramer Funeral Home, be your personal guide.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for a Football Friday edition of AFR Live from Don Juan Cigar Bar. Phil Steele with his best bets will preview LSU South Carolina Saints. Pats, join us 3 to 6. Alexandria's 94.7 ESPN.
It's Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
All right, we're back, and let's go to the phones once again. Good morning, you're on Talkback.
Hey, good morning, guys. I got to agree with Stephen. It is healthcare is a personal choice. If you're not willing to do the work that it takes to keep yourself in shape and keep yourself healthy, your shape will be round, and that's generally not a healthy shape.
Yeah.
As a self-employed person, I've spent many years with no insurance, and it is easier to be seen by a doctor paying cash.
Mm-hmm.
I've had when Obamacare came through, my health insurance premiums got so high that I just couldn't afford them. They more than doubled in a 2-year span. It was just I could not afford to keep my family on health insurance, so we went off of health insurance and we rolled the dice for years. Now, thankfully, my wife works for the school board, so we got good insurance, but we can't leave them. Like we can't leave that insurance because I have a kid who's got one medicine that's $8,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
There's absolutely no way to afford that. My deductible is $80 a month on that medication.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God I have somebody to cover the other almost $8,000.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
You can't do it without it.
Yeah.
But for years when we had no insurance, I joined up with Medishare.
Yep.
I tore my shoulder up for the labrum and bicep off the bone. That surgery with Medishare was paid for and handled with ease and no issues. Where and I walked in with they knew what insurance or what coverage I had, and they gave me the cash price to solve the problem. Because they pay cash.
Right.
And the doctor said, "Oh, I don't have to go jump through hoops to get it." Yeah, we can do it, and we can do it in a hurry.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's where the free market system works. When people are willing to pay, when people are going to get paid by the provider, they're willing to do the work for you. I don't know if you've seen your EOB and how long it takes for your insurance company to pay the doctor. But sometimes it's 6 months to a year before the doctor gets paid for a standard visit.
That's insane.
Like nothing crazy, just a checkup.
Yeah.
Those things, that costs the doctor money. He's got to pay all of his bills in the meantime.
Right.
And he doesn't get paid for the services he's rendered.
I agree.
And
I think healthcare providers and private insurance companies being non-transparent and jacking up prices is a problem without any regulation in between.
It is. But at the same time, when the government gets involved, it gets all screwed up. That's the reason why the costs are so exorbitant on some of these on some of these processes. You can go get tubes in your ears is $17,000 if you're on Medicaid. If you do it out of pocket, it's $3,000.
Wow.
Why?
Yeah.
It comes down to government interference in that process. Because the provider can't just say, "Here, this is what I need to get paid. Pay me for my services." They have to jump through hoops. So the idea of paying the tax, which we already pay, to get insurance coverage or some kind of medical coverage, it's not working because the government squanders your money. they're irresponsible with the way they handle our money because it's not their money.
Probably should be able to negotiate prices more too.
Absolutely. Well, within reason. I mean, the doctor says, hey, it costs $1,000 to do this. Well, it's probably because it costs that doctor pretty dang close, and he should make a profit as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he spent how many years in school? All of his staff spent how many years learning their trade? They should be paid respectably for their trade, for their knowledge. But the government interference has done nothing but hurt it. I mean, if you can't see what Obamacare did, you're going to have to go back and look before Obamacare, where it wasn't a great system, but we had affordable health care. I truly believe that Obamacare did one good thing, and that was not keeping insurance companies from excluding somebody with a pre-existing condition.
Yeah.
That should be something that should be extended past this Obamacare period. But the Obamacare is a problem. It has screwed up the system to where it's just unaffordable to have health insurance.
Mm-hmm. Sure has.
I mean, even with the school board paying as much as they pay, and I'm grateful for it, we still have to pay $700 something a month for health insurance.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's not even that bad compared to a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's not. It's really not. And that's why I'm thankful that my wife works for the school board and we can afford that health insurance. But what do you do if you don't?
Right.
Have you looked at prices of health insurance on the open market? It's outrageous. I can't offer health insurance to my employees because it's just so darn expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're a large employer with 20 plus people that are all going to be signing up, you don't get any kind of discount. You don't get group paying. You have to pay exorbitant amounts a month.
And I'm sure that makes it harder for you to keep those workers too.
100%. Because people with young families, they need insurance.
Yep.
You don't want your children on Medicaid if you don't have to have them on Medicaid.
Right.
You do not get to choose your doctor when you're on Medicaid. We've been there. We've run the gamut of Medicaid for a long time, and you just don't get choices. You have to go with where the government tells you can get service, and that's not always a good solution.
Right.
When you run into problems where a child's health is failing, or you're constantly having problems, and the doctor keeps giving you the same runaround with Medicaid, you don't have the choice to go find another doctor.
Yeah. Yep.
You're stuck in a bad spot. So the idea of government running anything is just that turns me off. We already pay taxes for it. So if they were going to do something properly with our tax dollars, they should have already been doing it.
Great thoughts. Appreciate your insight. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Have a great day, guys.
You too.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics.
Central Louisiana has what it takes. Strong workforce, perfect location, and a legacy of getting things done. That's why Beaver Lake Renewable Energy is producing clean fuel in Pineville, investing $2.5 billion, bringing 1,100 construction jobs, 600 permanent jobs, and millions in local tax revenue. Made here, powered by us. Visit BeaverLakeEnergy.com and see how we're putting Central Louisiana
keep
back
our
on the map.
communities safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, October 25th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talkback.
All right. Last segment. Let's go to another call. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Well, the gentleman that was just on echoes Moon Griffon's constant harangue about what health insurance costs.
Yeah.
And
I think Moon pays like $3,000 a month, something like that.
Well, I can't remember what it is, but the only reason he has it in quotes as low as that is because somehow or another he tied into some sort of a group type thing. But, okay, I see a specialist, 3 specialists once a year. I see my regular GP twice a year. Then I have to see my regular GP a 3rd time each year for something that's called wellness. Now, my wellness visit this year will be in March. My regular GP visit will be in February. Now, do you expect there's going to be that much difference in my health situation unless there's a catastrophe between February and March?
Probably not.
Of course not.
Yeah.
I mean, on the odds, I might drop dead for sure. But anyway, the point being that that's all part of this crappy ass, pardon my French, Obamacare stuff. And I don't pay a penny for that wellness visit, but I still get that piece of paper that says that the doctor got paid $400 or $500 or something like that for the wellness.
Yeah.
But the reason I go to the wellness is because my doctor is graded against if his patients don't go to their wellness visits.
Jeez. Yeah.
And I mean, and I've harangued before. There's apparently, if you bang your left pinky with a hammer, there's some sort of a code that when you go to the doctor has to put in the code, left pinky hammer strike, or left pinky door slam, or, you know, that kind of idiotic stuff.
Yeah.
And then you have Chuck Schumer sitting up there screaming like a banshee. And, okay, why do I have to put up with that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
I guess because I like to still stay living.
It is a nice thing if you can do it.
Okay, here's my thing too. So we all know Obamacare isn't doing what needs to be done. So let's all come to the table and fix it. It's good that this is being talked about.
I agree with you, 100%. But you got this bunch of people like Mr. Schumer, and then the other side.
I don't see Republicans looking to fix healthcare at all. That wasn't even their main platform. Like, this might spur them to do something.
Well, I agree with you that you've got these two sides and they won't cross. The other day I was going to call and talk about Harold Ford Jr., who's on the 5 on a regular basis. I'd vote for that man in a heartbeat. He's basically a blue dog Democrat, and I prefer to consider myself a conservative, but he's as close to a conservative. He and that, what's the guy, the senator from Pennsylvania?
John Fetterman.
Yeah, Fetterman.
Yeah, they're the only Democrats I hear that talk sense. But anyway, so much for my rant. I'll let the FedEx guy call in.
Okay.
Most of the left base doesn't like Chuck Schumer either. So he doesn't have a lot going for him.
Here's one last thing that Marjorie Taylor Greene said on that CNN interview.
Constituents, it's great. We track all the calls that come into my office. About 60% of the calls coming in right now are calls of support and saying, yes, health insurance is a crisis. They're telling us stories about how they're already paying $2,000 a month with $10,000 deductibles. I'm getting phone calls from people that are saying if the ACA tax credits expire, they aren't going to be able to have health insurance. They're going to have to drop it. But I'm hearing from people on both sides, people already on the ACA and people that are already getting crushed by high health insurance premiums.
It's a mess. All right, Steve.
I don't know what else to say. I think we beat it like a dead insurance market. So
good discussion today, folks. Appreciate it. Have a nice weekend.
You too.
Have some Swedish fish.
I will.